My name is Juanita Austin. My background is I currently own Cultured Studios, which is an art lounge in New London, Connecticut. We've been open and operating for the last year, and it kind of started from the brand I created called Cultured AF, which is an arts and culture and entertainment lifestyle brand. I'm also currently working at Connecticut College in the art department. I am the academic department assistant for art studio and art history. And basically what I do there is help manage the department and the programs that they have. My education, I went to New London High School, and right after that I went to the University of Connecticut in Stores, majored in digital media and design with a focus in digital marketing and media. So my community involvement with art started a few years ago. After I left University of Connecticut, I graduated in 2015, continued working at UConn for a year, but I know I wanted to be closer to New London, where I was born and raised. I wanted to work in the community. And so my first position back here in New London was working for a nonprofit arts gallery. That's really sort of where my career in the arts started. Within New London, and from that moment on I knew that's the area and the field that I wanted to work in. And since working at Hygienic, I believe I started in 2016 as their gallery assistant and gallery manager. I've helped with a number of community related arts initiatives, different arts festivals. I've worked for SailFest. I've worked with other artists and creatives on our own projects. So since 2016, I've been really passionate about staying involved within the arts and specifically within New London. So the role that Cultured has with the community and teaching the community arts, whether it's youth or adults, we really wanted this space to feel like a community arts center. So even though we are a for-profit business, I run on a social entrepreneurship model. And so everything that I do, I really want it to feel like the community is involved with it. So a lot of my events and programs are low cost, or a lot of them are also run for free. So for example, we had a Kwanzaa event at the end of last year that was open to the community. It was free. It was for families. So it was really focused on the youth. That was one of the programs that I think really sort of brought the community to Cultured Studios and for them to experience, everything that we do here. It was really beautiful seeing everyone interact, especially the youth, with the artists that we had for that event. Other events and programs that bring people into the space. It's really beautiful to see how the kids interact with the space. One of the main concepts with having an art lounge is that I didn't want it to be a white wall gallery where people a lot of times don't feel welcomed in those spaces or feel like it's something that you come in, you look, and you leave. And that's not what Cultured Studios is about. It's about creating a space where you feel welcome, you want to stay, and you want to be in the space, you want to be around art. And I think it's really important from people, especially in a young age, when you start appreciating art, is you need to be around it, you need to experience it. And that's what this space is about. A great example is I do allow other people to use my space for their programs and events. I encourage that and want that. And so I had an educator that used this space to do homeschool workshops for kids. And so she ran this program for 4 Saturdays for 1 month. And so the kids came in, and did their work. And so even though what they were doing wasn't specifically involving art, just being in the space and being around art did have an effect on them. So when I changed up the artwork, one time they came and they noticed and they're like, oh my God, it's different. She changed it up. And so they went around, before they started their lessons and looked at the art. So even just small things where you're not even, specifically engaging people in art, just being in it and around it, I think it's very important for everyone. It's important for kids to be around arts at a young age. The arts help develop us in so many different areas. It helps develop our creative thinking, our strategy skills, like all of these sort of little side skills that we think about, that we attribute to, say, sciences and technology. A lot of that development comes within the arts as well. So whether it's developing their passion to be an artist or their passion to do whatever, just being in the arts, it's something that's so essential. And you'll see now even, with this current crisis that we're going through with Corona, you see everyone's encouraging people to do live art events online, and they want people to do free open mics and painting, and it's like, those are all arts. And you're seeing as our society is sort of shutting down in a way, one of the things that's thriving and people want are the arts. And if you want that to exist, you have to nurture it. And you have to nurture it from a young age. You want people to grow up to provide these resources, provide these activities. Well, you need people that want to do that. And to get that, you have to start young. If you start cutting out the arts when kids are young, what's going to happen when we're adults? And you want these arts and the programs. These are the people that are going to be the ones that are going to provide that for us. And then just developmentally, everything that the arts does, it's healing. It's therapeutic. As I mentioned, it helps develop other skills in other areas. It's a great complement to arts and techs and sciences because you need that creative thinking. You need, those processes that help with those things as well. So the arts is just so important for all parts of our lives, from youth into adulthood, and it's something that should always be nurtured and cared for. So with dealing with the coronavirus, for parents who are home right now with their kids and may not be that artistically driven and want to provide that, there are a number of great resources. One, I would just start with seeing what your public library has to offer. That's something that I think it's really important. I used to work at our library as well, and the library always has so many great resources. I know our library is providing resources for people. So check to see what they have locally. They may have something, whether it's on their website or programs or resources that they're offering. I'm part of a group on Facebook, so if you're into social media as a parent, I've seen this great resource called social distancing events, I believe, and it's everyone that's sort of just gathering different live streams and programs for people, and I know there's ones that are specifically geared for parents. So again, checking different social media groups is always a great way to connect with other people who are going through the same things with you, to find those resources. And I think during this time right now, it's really sort of going to be important to really just reaching out to other people and seeing what they're doing and seeing what they're going through and sharing and really focusing on community. Again, we're not alone in this. So again, just talking to other people and seeing what they're doing, I think is the most important resources that we have right now. My life right now with the coronavirus, as a small business owner, I've had to close down Cultured Studios and cancel events, refund money for tickets. Really the main point of Cultured Studios is a social space. And so it's literally social distancing. It's like, that's the complete opposite of my business. My whole point is to gather people into this space, to be social, to engage in the arts. So it's definitely affecting that in that way, not being able to connect with people in person, which is really important. But it is also giving me the time as a small business owner to think creatively and think of other ways that can continue to connect with the community and to connect with people online and virtually. So, there's definitely some downsides, but it also gives you an opportunity to sort of think about your business and think about how the world is changing and what we can do to accommodate people in different ways. So that's, could be a lesson that could be learned during this time. But it's just always, I'm trying to remain hopeful and think about what we're going to do once when this is over. And hopefully it's sooner rather than later. And I see people talk about getting back to normal after Corona, and part of me wants us not to get back to normal in the sense that I think the coronavirus has highlighted a lot of issues within in our government and within our society. So hopefully we're taking this time to think about some of those issues and how we can change them for the better after Corona. So for example, I think, as I mentioned, it's really showing the highlight of the importance of arts for people. And after Corona, I really hope that there is more, whether it's more funding, more attention, more care is given in the arts. After this, we've seen how it is important in this time. And so after this, I hope we don't sort of forget that and push the arts to the side again. And I hope it's something that we're thinking about, again, developing with our youth in the schools, like how are we developing arts within our community as we see how important it is when we're taking away from the community. So I hope that's what's one thing that's going to change, after Corona, and specifically with Cultured Studios, thinking about this and how we get back to our normal after this time. There definitely probably might be, a change in how we do some things in terms of how we can, again, connect with people, even though we are going to get back to doing our live events. Is there more that we can do for people that, can't come to our space? So how can we continue to connect with people virtually, using technology more with some of the things that we're doing? I think it's important to think about as our business grows and now society grows and changes in this time. So that's definitely something that we're gonna continue doing and thinking about now and then after, this epidemic is over.
I thank you for letting me deviate from the plan.
No.
It was just fit.
Right.